I don't think a lot of people are going to like the information you see today, but don't be mad at me. I gotta give it to y'all, man. I want to post some gameplay videos and stuff, but there's been so much coming out that I would feel bad if I didn't inform you on what's going on. So whatever you gotta do, I'm not here to waste y'all's time. Make sure that like button is blue, and it's not blue anymore, so check that out. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and let's get right into the news. So Laker fan posted a YouTube video yesterday, and it was called "The Shot Contest Glitch That Will Break 2K25." Now, he's not doing an actual glitch. If you watch the video, I'm about to play right here about 20 seconds of it. I'm not going to show you the whole video, but basically, his point was, as you see, that is a tight contest right there. The shot contest system is apparently broken in 2K25. You see, he's walking by people, getting light pressures, they're falling down to the ground, and then some of the clips, there's a hand there's a guy jumping, maybe a little late, and it says open. It seemed like from his test, from his clips that he put together, in his opinion, that it was actually better to run at someone, not jump, not put your hand up, but to run at someone than to, do the latter on 2K25. So Heck went to Twitter and said, turns out the contest system is broken for real, and hands up is like having your hands down, and hands down is like having your hands up. And then he clarified this is in the perimeter only. So remember, only for perimeter contests. Now, this has been one of the more non-controversial topics since the game came out. Like shooting, was a big controversy. There was a lot of people on one side, there's a lot of people on the other saying fix it, don't fix it, A lot of people, though, I have not seen saying that the contest system is good on this game. Now, let's go even further. 2K2 posted a video today that says proof that hands-up defense is broken on 2K25. In there, he shows a few different clips. I'm going to give you a summary, of course, where he is running at someone in one side of the clip, and then the other side of the clip running at someone, then like putting his hand up to contest a shot. It turns out from his testing that running at someone gave him a better contest on average than putting your hands up. Like running at someone, jumping, putting your hands up, whatever it is. And I just wanted to show you guys real quick because before the game came out, we talked about this because we talked about all the news basically for 2K25. 2K talked about the new contest system. And it says right here, for 2K25, we made significant changes to the contest system. We now use a dynamic weighting system rather than a fixed one that evaluates the impact of defense at the start of the shot versus the release and computes the proper coverage impact accordingly. So very, very layman's terms, 2K's contest system is kind of working how they want it to this year. Now, I told you guys when we seen this that it reminded me a lot of 2K19's contest system, where it just didn't register a lot of good contests. I did not think that was a good contest system back then. You can go watch the videos. It was one of my biggest critiques of the entire game. And I'm not complaining and saying 2K needs to fix this and change it or whatever. I'm just saying I personally am not a fan of a contest system like the one they have for 2K25 because it reminds me a lot of 2K19, and we're seeing that right now in 2K25, and we're also seeing that it seems like you can just run at someone, and that's a better contest than jumping or putting your hands up. So I don't know if that's a good thing for the game. That's all I'm going to say. But I also went to Twitter, and this tweet went pretty crazy. It has over 100,000 views. I said the starter 4 reward says you quote unquote unlock a large collection of animations for your My Player, but what they don't tell you is that's really only for 6'4" and below. 6'5" and up literally get no new shots, dribble styles, crossovers, unless you're 6'10 plus, you get Giannis. You have to have like a 74 ball handle, by the way, for a 6'10, step backs, and more. They basically only get MJ free throw line dunks, which only require a 72 vertical, by the way, guys, to get a free throw line dunk. And 6'4" and below get it also. So they also get that dunk package. Kobe fade and the post hook. Now 6'4" get Patrick Mills jump shot, KPJ, new dribble styles, Devin Booker fade, which by the way 6'5" and up get. I forgot to mention that for that part right there. That's the worst part about the tweet. Kimba escape, Steve Francis size up, box crossover, multiple step backs, a few escapes, and more. It really seems one-sided for small guards this year. So the only problem right there, like I said, is that I did forget to mention that the 6'5" and up also get the D-Book fade. But if you guys haven't seen my video, it's on my channel. You guys will see it says starter 4, unlock some good animations, whatever it is. you can see every animation you unlock for hitting starter 4 where it says you get a large collection of animations. This, in my opinion, like I said in the video, unlocks you the real 2K25. There is a lot of way better animations behind that wall of being able to play, or I think it was like 800 games around there it took me to get to starter 4. However, you don't really get anything if you're 6'5" and up. Like, you get the Kobe fade, and by the way, I am testing that out currently, so I can't tell you guys if it's good or not yet. But I will be letting you know if the Kobe fade is good. I only have like 1 or 2 builds above 6'5", so I'll let you guys know if it's good. I, however, have tested the Devin Booker fade, and at the moment, I need to put more time into it before I put a stamp on it, right? That it's so good, whatever. But the Devin Booker fade feels really good. It's pretty slow. Pro 2 is, I don't know, it's kind of neck and neck for me at the moment whether Pro 2 is better or not. I know some guys use like normal 2 and Pro, and there's a bunch of different fades people use. I currently like to use Pro 2 or Devin Booker on my small guard, and then at the moment I'm testing out Kobe. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel for you guys, especially my guards out there, for when you hit starter 4, you're going to get some much better animations in my opinion. The Patrick Mills jump shot, the Steve Francis, the Kemba escape. But if you're 6'5" and up, I don't feel like you get nearly the amount of stuff that you do if you're 6'4" and below. Now, keep in mind this year, the small guards also get more attributes and blah, blah, blah. But the only thing I can tell is that I can say, the argument, I'm playing devil's advocate here, both sides, is that if you are like 6'6", 6'7", and you're going up against a 6'4" guard, 6'3", I mean, you can literally make some crazy layups on them no matter the contest because they are a few inches taller. However, I did see someone say it's actually the opposite. He was looking at it the other way. 6'4" guards, or sorry, 6'5" and up guards already get everything, and the 6'4" guards and below have to unlock it all. So like they already have the full game. However, from my experience of having 2 guards now, I haven't shown you guys the second one, over 6'4", I just don't feel like that's the truth in terms of like, you don't really get a lot. Like, I don't know, maybe it's me. My 6'6" moves decently good, and yes, I do have the advantages of being taller and stuff like that, but it just doesn't compare at the moment to having a smaller guard. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. I mean, of course, on the 2s, it's nice, and I do like my 6'6", but in a lot of areas, it's just not as good. Attributes, badges, animations, you literally only have larger arms and a larger frame, which helps you make like more layups and stuff when you go up against smaller guards. So I don't know, you guys let me know how you feel about it. I'm not complaining. I'm literally just telling you my opinion of how I feel about 2K25, and I do want to talk about something later on in the video as well. I just got to get these done, okay? Look, DBG said 2K making their game worse for 99.9% of people that play fair just to combat the 0.1% that cheat has always been funny to me, especially because the cheaters will always find workarounds and all that's left is a worse gaming experience for people playing legitimately. Now, even if you guys are completely okay with the shooting system in 2K25 right now, you do have to admit that 2K is doing a lot to try to combat the cheating, and in turn, that does too much for the game in terms of they could have just had an anti-cheat system or just let them cheat anyway because they are already cheating, guys. They are cheating in every single mode, basically. And most of the people saying, oh, well, at the moment, you can't cheat in Pro-Am and Stage, and if you want to not play cheaters, go there. Guys, 90+% of the community is quote-unquote casual players. It's fine to be a casual. And now 2K is pushing those cheaters because obviously they're losers, right? They're little dweebs that want to literally cheat on an online game. Do you think they're just gonna be like, oh no, I can't cheat anymore in the Stage, I'm done cheating? No, they're being pushed. Now the casual has to deal with this new shooting system, which, by the way, if you guys haven't heard me say it a million times, I don't think that they should change shooting yet. But what I'm saying is they're having to deal with this new system and the fluctuations of the jump shots, the timing stabilities, the variations, the load ups, the delays in the shot, whatever you want to say about the shooting system, while the cheater just goes in there and, hey, he's smiling ear to ear because he's just pressing one button against the more casual player. It's pretty crazy to me. That's the state that 2K is in, and honestly, it really sucks that people ever cheated in the first place. Like, we're really in so much of these topics and discussions due to people that just they couldn't help themselves but go pay for a monthly subscription to cheat. Now this guy said, why is nobody talking about how bad the badge elevators are ... How is that a level 40 reward? Now, believe it or not, I think it's pretty crazy to me how many people have messaged me, even my friends that I figured like they understood what was in the game. They play the game every year. They kind of know what's going on. They didn't think that the badge elevator did what it does this year, where it just puts a badge you already can get to that level up 2 levels. So if you have Silver Dimer, for example, and you can get it Hall of Fame, it will take it straight to Hall of Fame for you. It is not going to be like the Max Plus 1 that pushes you up higher than the potential of the badge. I've seen a lot of people very upset at that. But what I don't get is they weren't really upset until it seems like people are starting to hit level 40. And now they're realizing, oh, it doesn't, like, for some reason, a lot of people thought it did what the Max Plus 1 does, but Max Plus 2. You see what I'm saying? So it is very confusing, but one thing that does need to be talked about in the future is how the new season pass is kind of pay to win, kind of, okay? So at the start of every new season, your Max Plus 1s are now gone unless you buy to level 20 or 30, whatever they're at. I think there's 2, one's at 20, one's at 30. I could be wrong on those spots, but your Max Plus 1s are usually your most important badges. For example, I have a new build where I'm going to put my Max Plus 1 from Hall of Fame Glove to Legend. I have another build where Set Shot Specialist goes from Hall of Fame to Legend. And then in tier 2, because it's a 1v1 build that I was telling you I haven't been able to show you guys yet, is able to get post move lockdown silver, but it's able to Max Plus 1 it in tier 2. So that's huge for me because I get my Legend Glove on the build. And then I also, for post scores, by the way, so I can rip them, hopefully, we will see. And then post move lockdown for post scores that I can go from silver to gold. I'm not going to have that unless I pay to do it, unless I pay to get it, or I'll have to grind out a lot of games. You see what I'm saying? So at the start of every season, you could be playing someone who is using their most important badges, Max Plus 1, and you don't, right? Like, it's another thing, just like skill boost and Gatorade, and it's a good topic to have in the future. But anyway, Jay Curry said 2K taking out the jump shot pages should be a crime. 3,900 likes. Boofeek said them not adding a search bar to look up a specific name or letter is just insane to me. And then this guy said, quote unquote, jump shot pages are back for 2K26. And honestly, I wouldn't even put it past 2K to do something like that at this point. But this is a really important discussion about post scores. GB3 said, why is it that I can get post spin in drop stepped when I have a 99 interior and 99 strength with legend post move lock, all against gold / Hall of Fame post badges? Also, why even remove the ability to pull the chair? And you see I responded and said, why was the very realistic basketball ability to pull the chair removed? And I added Zach Timmerman and then Beluba, aka Mike Wing, who worked with 2K. It's very odd how there's a lot of people that argue realism all day on 2K. This is like this because it's realistic. This is like this. Yet, I haven't seen any of these guys talk about why pulling the chair was removed. Why 2K every single year seems to want to make post scores very, very good and almost unstoppable. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying they need to be patched, but I'm just saying I do believe it's fair that we have a real basketball technique, which is pulling the chair in the game. And for some reason, they took it out. There needs to be a counter to post scores. Why would you take out a very realistic move? Doesn't make sense. Double H, he said, I've been trying to say for years now that the strength, height, wingspan of a player is irrelevant when guarding a post score. They still get the same animations they do on anyone else, because drop stepping and post spinning are broken gameplay mechanics that have not been addressed. Now, Double H was trying to get high in the 1v1 proving grounds, and he keeps on playing post scores. He made a video about it, and that's how he feels, okay? So this guy said, what's your immovable enforcer on? He said, that's a perimeter defensive badge in the game, not a post badge. You need perimeter to get that. Double H said, I have a build with Legend Immovable, and it does nothing to stop post scores because, like you said, it's a perimeter badge. This guy said, badge should make you bump them and pick up the dribble. He said, that's on Ball Menace, and I have that on Hall of Fame. And it also doesn't do anything because when you make a post scorer pick up their dribble this year, they can throw a self alley-oop to themselves, and they catch it 9 out of 10 times, regardless on where they are or the defender is at on the court. Now, Double H has played a lot of 1v1 games in the Proving Grounds. I believe he was like top 100 at one point. I've only played 5 so far. I'm 5-0 on my new 1v1 build, so I haven't experienced that yet. But from a guy, like, that's his experience, you know? He can tell us from all those games that they're basically unstoppable. No matter what you do, unless you are a post scorer, you can't stop them. Now, am I saying you should be able to stop a 7-foot post scorer with a 6'2" build? No. Double H made a like 6'6", high strength, high perimeter, high interior build, and there's no chance of stopping them at all. It's hard to rip them. It's hard to bump them. When you do make them pick up the dribble, they can throw self alley-oops. I mean, that's kind of crazy, bro. That is kind of crazy. Now, this is what statistics said right here. As a guard that wants to play 1v1, they took away our literally only way to get a stop on post scores, which is pulling the chair. I don't think you can even pull the chair unless you have one of those badges on goal. Double H said, no, you can't pull it, period. The mechanic was entirely removed. That's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy, bro. Now, look, this guy added me and he said, like, bro, at Ronnie2K, just got off work. I'm a red plate and I've been sitting in Match Finder for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Please fix the game. It is unplayable. Literally can't play unless I have a team of 5 when I used to be able to get matches back to back. Now you see, he's a red plate and he's not able to get games. Now Splash Edition, former $250,000 My Team tournament winner, went to Twitter last night and this is what he said. Searching for 25 minutes and counting. Tried walking out as well. This is why SBMM, skill-based matchmaking, is bad. Then he replied like 10 minutes later and said, still searching by the way. Still searching. There is people now that are being penalized for being good at the game. Like heavily penalized. It's double level in the theater right now. So for the people that are like, oh, just go play stage or just go play Pro-Am, it's not double level over there. And one thing I think that the 2K community needs to do a lot better of is understanding perspectives. Although I'm personally against skill-based matchmaking for certain modes I talked about yesterday. You need to go watch that if you did not see yesterday's news video. I think I started like 6 minutes in. I'm personally against it in some modes and for it in some modes. You see what I'm saying? I'm not against it fully and I'm not for it fully. It depends on the mode and things like that. But let's give example shooting here. Rhythm shooting on 2K25. There's comments like, oh, you don't want to learn rhythm shooting? Skill issue. Bro, I'm shooting good. Skill issue if you can't shoot. But we're not putting perspective into anything, guys. And it's unfortunate because, for example, if you're playing in the rec, it's one of the lowest difficulties in the game. It's proven. Don't argue with me. It is proven, okay? It's just like Park. It's right around that difficulty. It is easier to shoot in rec. If you are for example, a spot up in rec, you're catching and shooting. That's all you're doing. You're rhythm shooting. It is so much easier to rhythm shoot. Now, if you guys seen these gameplays, I'm rhythm shooting most of the time. I'm like 50-50 rhythm shooting. Some games I do it. Some games it makes me mad. I go back to X. But what I'm saying is it's a different perspective. If we're telling someone it's a skill issue that is playing point guard and Pro-Am that they don't rhythm shoot versus a guy who's spotting up shooting in the rec off Legend Dimer in his lethal zone, it's a big difference. You see what I'm saying? I don't feel like people are bringing perspective into it. That's why when I talked about rhythm shooting, I told you guys that if you're a lockdown, if you're a popper, I 100% believe you should learn to rhythm shoot. However, I know that I'm a pretty above average player at the game. And so far, okay, I want to say so far, it is decently difficult for me to dribble around, get open. The second I get open, quick stop, then rhythm shoot. It's pretty hard. Now, if that's quote unquote a skill gap to you, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I could see that as a way of saying that is a new skill gap, right? To be able to do all that, still time the shot, whatever. But we need to bring perspective back. We need to stop saying in one sense, rhythm shooting is easy, bro. And you're just sitting there in the corner. Like if you are quick stopping and you're getting open and still rhythm shooting and still shooting consistently, I'm going to put a lot more opinion on that. Like, how do I say it? I'm going to put a lot more respect on that opinion if you're doing it on multiple different builds. If you're just sitting in the corner and you're saying rhythm shooting is easy, but you're not saying rhythm shooting is easy for me on my lockdown, where you're sitting in the corner, it's a big difference. You're yelling at this guy who's playing on harder sliders on a different position where you have to do so much this year to get open. It's hard, you know, versus good people. Then rhythm shoot off the quick stop. And by the way, the quick stop animations are all RNG. I haven't seen a single quick stop animation, which is running to the, if I'm running right, you know, hitting to the right stick, letting go, flicking back the other way like 2K20 quick stop, flicking up. I have not found a single quick stop that gives me anything close to the same animation every time. They're very RNG. You get weird load ups and speed ups and slowdowns and sometimes gathers because of the quick stop. So doing that and then still rhythm shooting and then still adjusting to the different timings you get off that is much harder. We need to bring back perspective, okay? That's all I wanted to say, guys. Anyway, if you didn't see yesterday's video, you got to go watch it. It is very important. I'm talking about very important. One of the most important news videos I posted this entire year and probably will for the rest of the year. So click it, tap it. It'll take you to that video. I'm out of here.